If I hold a pebble in my hand, I can almost feel the pebble hover there, as if the weight of the pebble is dependent on the resistance of my hand. I can feel how the temperature of the pebble depends on the warmth of my hand, how the heat transfers from my palm to the tiny rock. I can sense how the texture of the pebble exists only in contrast to the smoothness of my fingers. These sensations constitute existence. The pebble and I come into existence at the same time, at the exact same point of our contact. For millennia, philosophers assumed that being and existence were two separate states, and that being was constrained by logic, whereas existence was illusory. For example, logically, a thing cannot be and also not be without running into contradiction. Parmenides, standing on this tautology, declared that reality was therefore one unchanging cosmos. He inferred that all perceived change was unreal. But this sophistic conclusion assumed a reality which was apart from existence. This insistence on being apart from existence, which persists to the day, is an entirely neurotic impulse. Plato posited a poorly explained reality of forms to rescue truth from the clutches of power dynamics. Aristotle had no such agenda. Aristotle did not provide a single formal definition of reality or being. Instead, through categorization, he provided a systematic way of understanding. He observed, he cataloged, demystifying Plato's forms into an intellectual apparatus for defining and distinguishing the things, substances, of the world. I, like Aristotle, do not need to know that my experiences partake of some ontological realness for me to experience, describe, and understand them. The question is, do I nonetheless need to be real? I need to be clear about the question I am asking. Is there a me? Do I have a stable identity that is real in the sense of being unchanging and eternal? A me which is separate from my existence? There are many ways of asking this same question. Do I have a soul which is separate from my body which survives after my death? Is there something separate from my experiences which has those experiences? Am I the same person at 5 that I am at 35? Just bigger, with more memories, and evolved attitudes? Descartes, I believe, got it backward. The problem with the mind-body split is that, once made, there is no way to explain the connection between the two so that the mind can have the experiences of the body. In contrast, if there is no mind separable from the body, there is a way to explain the existence of the mind. Thoughts are simply different types of sensations. The brain is a sense organ which, when stimulated by the other senses or its own activity, produces more activity, which we experience as thoughts, memories, and emotions. What about consciousness? A theologian objects. That problem has been solved by neuroscience. Although not understood, it has been proved that consciousness resides in the delay between physical stimulus and awareness. A brief period of time when an immediate perception becomes a memory of that stimulation, as the brain recollects what just happened, making the individual feel as though they are looking at their own experience. Something to think about in any case.